Imagine walking into someone's house today. You might see a dog sleeping on the couch or a cat quietly watching you from the window. Now imagine visiting ancient Egypt, 4,000 years ago. You open the door, and there's a cat sitting proudly in the middle of the house. Outside, dogs guard the entrance. Birds live in wooden cages. Even monkeys can sometimes be found as pets. But then you walk into a temple. Every wall is covered with animals. Cats, falcons, jackals, crocodiles, ibises. Did ancient Egyptians really worship animals? Or is that one of history's biggest misunderstandings? And why were some beloved pets carefully mummified after they died? The truth is far more fascinating than most people imagine. Let's find out.
So why were cats so important in ancient Egypt? The answer wasn't simply because they were cute. Imagine storing months of grain inside your home. Rats and mice could destroy your family's entire food supply. Venomous snakes were another constant danger. Cats helped solve both problems. They hunted rodents, chased away snakes, and protected valuable food. In return, Egyptians fed them, cared for them, and welcomed them into their homes. But their importance went far beyond everyday life. Many Egyptians associated cats with Bastet, the goddess of home, protection, fertility, and family. Because of this connection, harming a cat was considered a very serious offense, and cats were treated with great respect. Compare that to today. Millions of families keep cats simply as loving companions. In ancient Egypt, a cat could be both a trusted pet and a powerful symbol of divine protection. But cats weren't the only animals that held a special place in Egyptian life. There were many others, and each had its own remarkable story.
Cats may have been the most famous pets, but they certainly weren't the only ones. Imagine walking through an ancient Egyptian village. A loyal dog guards the entrance to a home. Nearby, children laugh while playing with a pet monkey. Birds sing from wooden cages, while ducks and geese wander freely near the Nile. Dogs were trusted companions, helping with hunting, guarding homes, and protecting livestock. Some wealthy families even kept monkeys as unusual pets, while birds were admired for their beauty and songs. Many of these animals also appear in Egyptian paintings and tombs, not just because people loved them, but because they were an important part of everyday life. Compare that to today. We keep pets for companionship, protection, or simply because we enjoy having them around. Ancient Egyptians did exactly the same, although some animals would eventually take on a much deeper religious meaning. And that's where the real mystery begins. Why were so many animals carved onto temple walls and linked to powerful gods?
So, did ancient Egyptians really worship cats? Not exactly. This is one of the biggest myths about ancient Egypt. Egyptians didn't believe that every cat, falcon, or crocodile was a god. Instead, they believed certain animals represented the power and spirit of specific deities. A cat reminded people of Bastet, the goddess of home and protection. A falcon represented Horus, the sky god. A jackal symbolized Anubis, guardian of the dead. A crocodile was linked to Sobek, the god of the Nile and strength. And an ibis represented Thoth, the god of wisdom and writing. Compare that to today. Many countries use animals like eagles or lions as national symbols. Ancient Egyptians did something similar, but their symbols also carry deep religious meaning. That's why animals appeared everywhere, on temple walls, statues, jewelry, and sacred artwork. But their relationship with animals became even more remarkable after those animals died, because some were given the same incredible treatment as humans.
Now, imagine losing a pet you loved.
Today, many families bury their pets in a garden or a special cemetery. Ancient Egyptians sometimes did something even more extraordinary. Some beloved animals, including cats, dogs, ibises, crocodiles, and even monkeys, were carefully mummified. Why? In some cases, families wanted their pets to join them in the afterlife. In other cases, animals were raised as sacred offerings to specific gods and were mummified before being placed in temples. Archaeologists have discovered millions of animal mummies across Egypt, showing just how important these creatures were in Egyptian religion and daily life. Compare that to today. We keep photos and memories of our pets. Ancient Egyptians believed that preserving an animal's body could also preserve its place in the next world. But after learning all this, one question still remains.
What do these animals really tell us about ancient Egyptian civilization? Now, compare ancient Egypt to the world we live in today. Today, most people keep pets for companionship. They visit veterinarians, buy pet food, and celebrate their pets as members of the family. Ancient Egyptians shared that same love for animals, but their relationship went even further. Pets protected homes, helped with hunting, guarded valuable food, and were deeply woven into religion and everyday life. Cats hunted rats, dogs guarded homes, birds filled gardens with song. Even monkeys entertained wealthy families. To an Egyptian, these animals weren't just useful. They were companions that reflected the beauty, power, and order of nature. Compare that to today. We still love our pets, but few cultures have ever connected animals so closely with both daily life and religious belief. And that leads to one final question. Did ancient Egyptians worship animals, or were they honoring something much greater through them?
So, did ancient Egyptians really worship cats? The answer is not exactly. They loved and respected many animals, but they didn't believe every cat or dog was a god. Instead, animals represented the qualities of their gods: protection, wisdom, strength, courage, and family. Cats became symbols of Bastet. Falcons reminded people of Horus. Jackals represented Anubis, and many other animals carried their own sacred meaning. At the same time, these animals were also part of everyday life. They guarded homes, hunted pests, entertained families, and became loyal companions. Compare that to today. We still love our pets, but few civilizations blended daily life, religion, and animals as closely as the ancient Egyptians did. The next time you see a cat peacefully sleeping, remember that 4,000 years ago, an ancient Egyptian family might have looked at the very same animal and seen not just a pet, but a symbol of protection, home, and the divine. If you enjoyed this journey into ancient Egypt, don't forget to subscribe.